Today started like any other day. The sun was shining and the birds were singing outside the window. Elena sat at the breakfast table with her husband, Mark. Usually, their mornings were calm and happy, but today, something felt different. Mark looked at Elena with a serious face. He said, Elena, I can't live like this anymore. Elena was surprised. She did not understand what he meant. Mark looked sad and worried. He said, I feel frozen. I don't know what to do. Button. Elena asked, What do you mean, Mark? He looked into her eyes and said, I can't live with your mother in this house. I feel like a stranger in my own home. Elena's heart began to beat fast. She loved Mark very much. She also loved her mother. How could she choose between them? She felt confused and afraid. Mark said clearly, You must choose, Elena. It is either me or your mother. Elena could not believe what she was hearing. Could she really make such a hard choice? She sat quietly and thought about her family. She thought about her mother, who had always been there for her. She thought about Mark, the man she loved and wanted to build a future with. Elena's mind was full of questions. What if she chose Mark and lost her mother? What if she chose her mother and lost Mark? What if she lost both of them? The thought made her feel very lonely and scared. All day long, Elena thought about the problem. She wanted to talk to Mark and her mother, but she did not know how to start. She was afraid to hurt either of them. In the evening, Elena's mother called her on the phone. Elena, are you okay? Her mother asked softly. Elena wanted to say yes, but she could not. She said, Mom, we need to talk. There was a long silence. Then her mother said quietly, Is it about Mark? Elena felt her heart hurt. How did her mother know? She said, Yes, Mark wants you to leave. Her mother was silent for a moment. Then she said, If this is what you want, Elena, I will go. Elena felt panic. She quickly said, No, Mom, I don't want you to leave. I don't want to lose you. Her mother said gently, Elena, you have a husband now. You must choose your marriage. Elena thought to herself, Why do I have to choose? Why can't we all live together happily? She wished she could find a way to keep both Mark and her mother in her life. She hoped for a solution, but the problem seemed very big and difficult. Elena felt very sad and confused. She felt like she was standing in the middle of two people she loved, and she could not move. Now, think about a time when you had to make a hard choice. Maybe you had to choose between two good friends or between your family and something important to you. How did you feel? Was it scary? Was it sad? Hard choices are part of life. They teach us about love, courage, and hope. Elena's story shows us that sometimes love can be very complicated. It is not easy to choose when two important people ask for your attention. But it is okay to feel confused and sad. What matters most is to be honest with yourself and try to find a way that feels right in your heart. This is the beginning of Elena's journey. She will learn more about love and family as she tries to find her way. She wants to be strong and kind. She wants to find hope even when things are difficult. Remember, Learning English through stories like Elena's helps you understand feelings and new words. It helps you practice speaking about your own life too. Keep listening, and you will improve every day. Elena wanted to find a way to solve the problem. She did not want to lose Mark or her mother. She hoped that if they talked together, they could understand each other better. So, one morning, she asked Mark and her mother to have breakfast with her at the same table. When they sat down, the room was very quiet. Everyone felt nervous. Elena looked at both of them and said softly, "We need to find a solution together." Mark looked serious and said, "Elena, I already told you, I cannot live in this house with your mother. It is too hard for me. I feel like I do not belong here." Elena's mother looked down and spoke quietly. "If it is better for you, Mark, I will leave today. I will find another place to live." Elena felt pain in her heart. She wanted to say no, but the words did not come out easily. She said, "No, that is not what I want." Mark looked at Elena and said, "Then I will leave." This is not a marriage, Elena. It is a mistake. Elena's heart broke when she heard these words. She asked Mark, "Do you really think marrying me was a mistake?" Mark did not answer. The silence between them was louder than any words. Elena's mother stood up slowly. She said, "I will go. I do not want to destroy your marriage." Elena wanted to shout, "No!" but she could not find the strength. She felt trapped. Both the people she loved were ready to leave. Mark stood up and said, "I'm going to work. When I come back, I want your answer." Elena sat alone and thought about what love really means. Was love supposed to be this hard? Was it right for someone to ask you to choose between the people you love? She looked at her mother packing her things. The sound of the suitcase made the house feel empty and cold. Elena felt sad and alone. She thought about the word sacrifice. Her mother was ready to leave for Elena's happiness. Mark was ready to leave for his own peace. Both of them were making big sacrifices. Elena realized that love can sometimes make people feel lonely. It means giving up something important. It means being brave and hoping for the best, even when things are difficult. Now, imagine you are Elena. What would you say in this situation? What would you do if you were in her place? Try to write or say your own version of this difficult conversation in English. Use simple words like love, family, sacrifice, hope, and courage. This practice will help you improve your English speaking and learn how to talk about feelings. Talking about feelings is not always easy, but it is very important. When people share their feelings honestly, they can understand each other better. They can find ways to solve problems and grow closer. Elena wanted to find peace in her heart. She wanted Mark and her mother to live happily together. But the problem was bigger than she thought. She knew that sometimes, even when people love each other, they can still hurt each other without meaning to. She knew that love is not only about happiness, it is also about understanding, patience, and forgiveness. During that day, Elena learned an important lesson. She learned that love is not always easy, but it is always worth trying. She learned that sometimes the hardest things in life teach us the most. Remember, Learning English through stories like Elena's helps you feel the emotions behind the words. It helps you practice using new vocabulary and speaking about real life situations. Keep listening and practicing every day. You will get better and better. Elena could not sleep that night. Her mind was full of thoughts. She knew she had to make a very important decision. She wanted to be honest with herself and find the right path. When Mark came back home, he looked tired and serious. He asked Elena, "What is your decision? Will you choose me or your mother?" Elena looked at both Mark and her mother. Her mother was holding a suitcase, ready to leave. Mark waited for her answer. Elena felt her heart beating fast. She took a deep breath and said, "Mom, you don't have to leave. You are my family. You are my heart." Her mother smiled quietly and listened. Elena felt a warm feeling inside. She knew this was the right thing to say. Then Elena looked at Mark. She said, "Mark, I love you, but I will not throw my mother away. I cannot choose between you and her." Mark's face changed. He asked, "So you choose her?" Elena answered, "No, I choose what is right. I choose love, real love." Mark laughed softly and said, "You are making a mistake." Elena said, "Maybe I am, but it is a mistake I can live with." Mark looked at her for a long time. Then he said, "Goodbye, Elena." He walked out the door and did not look back. The door closed behind him. The house became very quiet. Elena thought she would feel broken and empty, but something surprising happened. She felt free. She turned to her mother and said, "It is okay, Mom. We are okay." Her mother smiled and nodded. Elena smiled too. She felt peace in her heart. In the days that followed, Elena and her mother spent time together. They cooked breakfast, talked, and laughed. The house felt warm and full of love. One afternoon, her mother said, "Elena, I am sorry. I did not want to cause problems between you and Mark." Elena said, "It is not your fault. If love is real, it does not break so easily." Her mother smiled. Elena felt calm and happy inside. A few days later, Mark sent a message. He wrote, "I miss you." Elena's heart jumped for a moment, but then she remembered something important. She thought, "He did not miss me when he asked me to choose. He did not miss me when he left." Elena replied kindly, "I wish you well." Then she turned off her phone. She looked at her mother and said, "Let's go for a walk." Outside, the sun was shining. The air was fresh. Elena felt calm and happy. She thought, "I am not alone. I never was." Maybe one day she would find love again. Maybe that love would be stronger and kinder. But today, she was okay. Today, she chose herself and her family. Today, she chose love that does not ask her to change who she is. She smiled and whispered to herself, "Sometimes losing someone is the best way to find yourself." This is the end of Elena's story. It teaches us that love is about respect and freedom. Real love does not force you to choose between the people you care about. It lets you be yourself. Learning English through stories like this helps you understand feelings and new words. It helps you speak about your own life and feelings too. Keep practicing, and you will become better every day. Elena's story is a powerful journey about love, family, and making difficult choices. She faced a very hard moment when her husband, Mark, asked her to choose between him and her mother. This situation made Elena feel very sad, confused, and alone. But through this challenge, she learned important lessons about what love truly means. Love is not about forcing someone to choose between the people they care about. Real love is about respect, kindness, and freedom. It means accepting people for who they are and standing by them even when times are hard. Elena chose to be honest with herself and to stand by her mother, showing real courage and love. After Mark left, Elena found peace inside. She rebuilt her relationship with her mother. They shared simple moments of happiness like cooking together, talkings, and walking outside. Elena understood that sometimes losing someone can help you find yourself. She found strength in loving herself and her family in a way that did not ask her to change who she was. This story teaches us a deep lesson. In life, just us, love should not hurt or control us. Love should help us grow, feel safe, and be free. Sometimes we have to make difficult decisions, but choosing what is right for our heart is always the best choice. When we respect ourselves and others, real love can grow. You can apply this lesson in your own life. If you ever feel pressured to change who you are or to choose between people you love, remember Elena's story. True love respects your heart and lets you be yourself. Be kind and honest with your feelings. Talk openly with your family and friends. And always choose love that makes you feel free and happy. Thank you so much for listening to Elena's story all the way through. By listening carefully and reading these simple words, you have improved your English skills. Keep practicing every day, and your English will get better and better. Now, here is a quick question for you. Who did Elena choose in the end? A. She chose her husband, Mark. B. She chose her mother and herself. Please write your answer, A or B, in the comments below. I would love to see your choice. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, please subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to create more helpful and inspiring content for you. Also, if you would like to help us continue making free English learning stories, please consider donating. Creating quality content takes time and effort, and your donations help us keep going. Thank you again for being with us on this learning journey.